All right, so we back, and the next question I got is, and I kind of have this in a little bit of like a parentheses kind of thing, or just like a bullet point, but let me know, Maali, like what was with you saying like the I like J Dilla, Black Milk, like in terms of production, like what's that whole effect from them?
Wow. Well, Trap Called Quest, and Slum Village were some of my favorite groups, growing up. And, I've always liked abstract yet very soulful production. I never was one. I mean, there was some mainstream artists that I liked, but for the most part, I liked more conscious stuff like your Commons, your Black Thoughts, Talibs, stuff, people like that. And then on the CHH side, it was like Tunnel Rats. I used to really dig Dirt's production, the percussions, the Stro. So that type of vibe has always been a vibe that I wanted to explore, within what I was doing. But Dilla, I actually, my youngest son, his name is Jadison. His nickname is JD. I named him specifically after J Dilla. So it kind of shows you. You know what I mean? I rock with Jay. JD had. You know what I mean? I just thought he was uncanny when it came to the production. And then Black Milk, you know what I mean, was really dope as well, man. I just love how strong his percussion is in the groove and his beats, you know what I'm saying? So if anything, I wanted something like that.
Shoot. I'm at yo, listen. Let me let y'all know. From the gate, Maali was like, yo, I like J Dilla and Black Milk, what you got? And I'm kinda like, what? What? Like, this dude's coming out asking for legendary production, not like, yo, alright, let me see what you got kind of deal, or hit me with some East Coast, or nah, just off the rip. J Dilla, Black Milk, bro. That's what I like, do something like that. And I'll be honest and say, in my head, I'm like, okay, nobody can be or ever do something like those individuals like have done or continue to do, because Black Milk is still around doing his thing. First of all, rest in peace, J Dilla. And salute to everybody in the Dilla camp, and salute to Black Milk. Personally, I don't think I've I wasn't on Dilla until like about like maybe 6-7 years ago or something like that. I had to look him up, or I had like watched some kind of documentary on him or something, and I was kind of like, wow, that's J Dilla. So then I mean, the name speaks for itself in that regard. And Black Milk, that I think that kind of follows suit, and just really being a student of the game, like production wise, like one of the things I love doing is just listening to beats and thoroughly, like really just going through and examining them. So well, these two, man, I mean, I don't think I can, no, like nobody can ever be like anybody. That's just a given. I can never be a J Dilla, Black Milk, a DJ Official, a Rock House. I can't be nobody but myself. But what I had in my corner is that I knew how to filter and do that kind of style of production well, like the using samples and filtering them and having those bass lines come out and stuff. So in a way, I felt like on the project and in what you were asking, I was tapping into like 90s Dilla. I think I had a little bit of 90s Dilla in what I have.
You do. You do. I would agree.
Just a little bit, because again, that's Dilla we talking about. So yeah, man, so to be honest, it was a challenge, and a challenge it was indeed. And I was also that kind of individual to willingly accept that challenge. It's like JD and Black Milk. Alright, let's go study some JD and Black Milk. So all I heard for I don't know how long when I was at work, Dilla, beats, like the little, and the woo, the little like, you know, siren. And then with Black Milk, like I happen to cop the If There's a Hell Below instrumentals, and just studying that like crazy. So yeah, now Maali, in terms of this project, man, what do you think were goals on the production side? Like, you know, what do you think your goals were?
Well, for me, I just wanted to be authentic to who I am. And, you know, even though I'm a little bit older, I still, you know, I just wanted to put out some grown-up music. You know, a lot of times, you know, being a little older, you get the stigma of, you know, hip-hop's a young sport. And in some cases, that's true. But it doesn't mean that hip-hop needs to grow up, too. You know what I mean? Because it's not just 20-year-olds listening to hip-hop. You know what I mean? So with this, you know, I wanted to create a sound where, you know, my peers, my friends can listen to it and appreciate it, as well as, you know, my children. You know what I mean? So it's a really weird dynamic, because, you know, I have teenagers, so, you know, they're listening to what's current, and even though it like drives me crazy, you know what I'm saying? I can't limit, you know, what God is going to do through the music that He's given me either. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, you know, which leaves me open to try new things.
Got you. I mean, for me, with you dropping J Dilla, Black Milk, like I kind of had the confidence to go in and say, like, okay, I can tap into a little bit of 90s J Dilla. I can maybe create a vibe a little bit dark like Black Milk. Just tap into them individually a little bit, not entirely. But on my end, I wanted to create something original, something soulful, something dope, and something different. And I also wanted to create, even though maybe the trap sound is the sound of today, I still wanted to mix something similar, because you as a creative, like, although you want to be true to maybe one style, or just, you know, be that one person all the time, like, you know, that may, you know, limit your growth in that how would I say it, in that kind of craft. So if all you want to do is paint pictures with crayons, you know, that's how you're gonna stay, unless you start using like oil pastels, or like, you know, pointillism or something, you know what I mean? And then same thing goes with music. If you're only rhyming, you know, a triplet flow, and you don't know how to calm it down, you know, you're gonna stay that way, or you're not gonna be able to grow. So for me, it's the same thing, where I have to keep an open mind to be like, okay, like I know Maali has to have soulful stuff. I can do that all day, but I know Maali needs something for the concert. Like, I had that foresight, or that kind of vision to say, okay, I know you need stuff for the headphones as you're walking to work. I know you need stuff to meditate on, but I also know you need something for the gym, or, you know, when you need to, you know, get that energy flowing. You know what I mean? So that's basically the goal for me. And also, at the end of the day, like, it wasn't just making beats, it was catering to what you wanted and producing. You know what I'm saying? Like, actually going back and saying, you know what, I don't like how you said that line there on this particular song. I need you to do that. Don't sing, don't do that, don't even try that, or whatever. And then, you know, and really put the product out there, like, you know, from A to Z, like, begin the process and end the process, so actually have songs ready to go and everything. So yeah, man. So moving on, you know, I know in this project, like, a lot of people are saying that, you know, it's me and you at it, but if you can, man, talk about some of the contributors to the project, Maali. Like, who you got on it, man?
Okay, well, we got my homie Stay Humble, who who's another Pittsburgh resident. Um, it's been really influential in my life. Uh, the past maybe 14 years. Uh, Real consistent, really reliable, dope friend, dope MC. Uh, I got Reed B versus. Um, Very dope individual. Definitely really talented on the mic. Uh, he's a really thorough dude, man. The stuff that he spits about, you know what I mean, in his music, when you talk to him, uh, there's there's definitely evidence of what God has given him. You know what I mean? Just he's very very real. You know what I mean? And then uh, I got the talented Alyssa Wade on there on a record, and then I got my old group on there as well. You know what I mean? So those is pretty much the contributors to the project. Didn't have too many, but the people that I did have on there did definitely add to the project.
Yep, yep, I totally agree. And salute to Reed B, Miss Wade, stay humble. I just want to give a quick shout out to Rock House, my man T Rock, Anthony Clary, as well as Mike Verse Mills and Sicily. T Rock, man, like
Rock House.
Yeah, salute, man. Hope you doing good, bro. Got nothing but mad love for you, man. But yeah, man, like I happened to make this beat, right, and I'm like, okay, let me mess with this for a little bit. And again, like, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes when you're creating, you're in the trenches, and it may be a little difficult or whatever to actually put something out there. So I happen to just grind in the studio one day, and then I happened to put my or that particular day I happened to put the beat I was working on in the Instagram stories, and then my man Rockus was like, please, yo, give me that beat. I'm gonna murder it with the 808s right now. Like, I'm gonna kill it. And I'm like, you know what? Go ahead, because it was of that kind of style. It was of that kind of flavor, and I was like, I don't think I know anybody else at the moment or at that time that can do that and do that like right then and there. And what he turned around, man, was freaking incredible, man. Even though like I made majority of that beat on Eyes on Him, like without that 808, it wouldn't be the same. So it's like 50-50 for me, man. If you don't got that 808, you don't have that whole beat in there, and you don't have that whole song. So salute to Rockhouse. And then with Sicily, I want to give a shout out to her. She did some incredible artwork for us with our singles, as well as the album artwork, man. So really appreciative of her service. And I also want to salute to the big homie Mike Verse Mills, who did the engineering for the project. You know, he was that guy to say, all right, well, how do you like this mix, or what do you think of that? And I think the music speaks for itself, of how clean and crisp and how everything just came about on the sonic side, or not sonic side, on the actual like audio, like really technical side. So I think we can do one more, man, before we take a short break. So man, in a way, man, take us through this whole process and really think about the challenges that you face while creating this project, man.
Well, I mean, life was happening while I was creating this project.
Amen.
I think, I think that's what makes this project so special to me. You really got to see. I got to see a lot, in regards to myself, where I was, where I thought I was. It was some hard times, and I was going through a lot during the writing and recording process. Just because you're an artist doesn't mean that life still doesn't go on. You know what I mean? And I was just very thankful to be able to communicate, that from brother to brother, and for you to in return give me a soundtrack of what was going on in my life. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like that was really clutch, especially on that I'm Praying song. uh, it was a really, I was in a really dark place. You know what I mean? And I didn't really know how to communicate it in a way that still honored God. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I was very thankful for you. You know what I mean? As far as being just listening. You know what I mean? Because the listening to just our regular conversations turned a lot of the music into what it was. Again, there was only two beats that were already pre-made before we got into this process.
Mm-hmm.
So every other record, was made from either, preference or just our getting to know one another and learning one another. Which
Yeah.
it was a very organic process. It's something, I think it changes from me the way I do music from here on out. Period.
Gotcha. Yeah. Um. I kind of feel the same way in terms of, like, yeah, you may be known as Maali P, the artist, or OL as the producer, man, but you still gotta work a 9 to 5. You still gotta take out the trash. You still gotta help out the folks. You still gotta go to service. You still gotta help in church. It's not like, you're famous at church for making beats and all that. Heck no. So life is still there and present. So we all have to go through things, and thank God for the good times and the bad, man, for real. And I personally felt like I needed to be a listener because I don't have that luxury being from the North, man. I don't have that luxury to just freely travel. And I personally would like to work with an artist like, we're in, the bee cave or the studio and just being like, okay, man, how you feel today? Where's your mind at? Where's your head at? Because I need certain cues, or I need something to grasp in terms of like energy or an idea or some kind of like vibration to say, okay, I want to make something that's going to cater to you and specifically for what you're feeling right now or what you need. You know what I mean? So I had to listen to you, and it's not a thing of like, oh, I only listen to you because of that. It was, a genuine interest in that regard as well. Like, I wanted to know what was going on with your wife and everything like that, and your kids and all. And it was all those things that I needed to hear as well. You know what I mean? I needed to hear how, your wife felt about, X situation or whatever, or, what's going on with the job or what have you, so that way I can produce, at the end of the day. So, I'm thankful for that, man. And, yeah, so before we continue, we're just going to take a little bit of a quick break, and we'll be back with more questions.
Word.